All right, welcome, Prompt Family. We are back for another video, and this one is super important, especially if you want to start your 2026 off right. And right, I mean by having content that's actually going to attract your target clients. Now, Don, how would you think the content fits into the ecosystem now, based on where we were at a couple of years ago and how content is so important now?
Oh man, I think content is the most important thing. You know what I mean? Like, especially in today's era. I mean, if you're not really shooting content, whether it's faceless content, because I know, a lot of people struggle with that, just content in general, man. Like, that's just the wave and that's just the way to conduct business nowadays. If you want to stay consistent, you know what I mean? Get new clientele, sales, man, content is just everything, bro.
And it's crazy because when I first got online, I was trying to do everything but do content. I wanted to grow like this huge business that I didn't really have to put a face on, and I would just be able to make money in my sleep on autopilot. And I think a lot of people have gotten online with that dream where you
Yep.
just want to, make the money. You don't want to actually have to do the work. But really, if you want people to pay, you have to have a value exchange. And the only way people know that you have skills that actually are valuable to the marketplace is by you demonstrating what you do. So if I don't create content, then no one actually knows what I do, right? So it'd be the same for anyone. And I think that's why this year is so important, because with all of the intricacies that AI brings, the one thing is that we are still human individuals, we're still people, and we have the ability to show the world who we are or whatnot. So with that, I wanted to introduce this tool here called Blotato. Don, have you ever heard of this one before?
I have all through you, my man. I never heard of it until you started, putting me on. And it's definitely a fire tool, but I feel like every time we link up, bro, I learn something new.
Well, I'm definitely going to dive into it a little bit more as far as like what it is and actually why I'm using it. And I originally
Okay.
came across this from a creator. Her name is Sabrina. I don't want to massacre your last name, but Romanoff. And she is like, I mean, I know you've seen some of her videos, Don. She
Yep.
has like just blown up last year in the AI space. Like,
Yeah, she's a beast. I love her, man. She's a beast.
I mean, I can't even say more than that. It's just blown up into space. But a lot of it is just because she's putting out so much content and just valuable content. So I'm going to share this link with everyone because she was so gracious enough to bless us with this social playbook of how she basically went from almost zero to 1.4 million subscribers or followers just across all of her different social media platforms in the course of a year. And this is something we were just talking about, Don, like why posting daily just isn't enough. You like say you were saying we need at least two a day, right? At this point.
Yep. Yep. At
Because
least.
at the end of the day, when you think about it, the algorithm is usually not in your favor. And so if you only post something one times a day, how likely is that to get seen by other people?
I agree.
And so what she had did was she basically grew her following from this small amount to this large amount, and she in the process she built this tool called Blotato here. And so you can read all this article to see how it works. But Blotato is basically like a social media tool where it allows you to create viral posts, slideshows, AI videos, and the magic is it allows you to easily distribute it across all of the different social media networks that you're normally using anyway. So I'm posting on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, and usually having to do it manually. And Blotato just makes it so simple so that way you can actually use AI and now implement it across all of the social media channels. And it's super affordable to get started. Of course, most plans like this one has a free option, so you can get a free 14-day plan, or you can get started at $29 a month. And $29 a month is a drop in the bucket because one of the cool things that you're going to get access to that I'm going to show you a little bit later is this social media API. And with this social media API, what it does is it allows you to basically connect your social media networks using tools like N8N or Zapier. So now you can automate the process of doing social media instead of having to just post it at one place. You can post it across all the different places at one particular time. But if we were to log into this tool, let me just give you a quick overview of kind of how it works. So on the left-hand side here, you got all of these different options, but the one that I really want to show you first is called Inspiration here. This one is really cool because if you're ever struggling for like content ideas, this is just gonna make your life so much easier because you can come in here and then you can filter by certain things you're looking for, by certain dates, the ranges, the different creators. And then you can just come through here and easily see that different types of content that's already going viral, not going viral, what people are actually in tune with. And then just with like a click of a button, you can just click here and then basically it adds it to where now you can remix this post and create a post just like that for yourself. So that just makes it super simple to where you're already seeing that something is going viral, and now you can come over and actually use that as inspiration for your own particular post. So that's one thing that's been really awesome about it. The other thing is the ability to add different sources is almost kind of like where you want to get your viral content ideas from. So say for example, I can go to TikTok here and then I can go to like a creator that I follow on TikTok. Is there anybody on TikTok that comes to mind for you, Don, or YouTube that comes to mind that you kind of follow a lot?
TikTok, to be honest, bro, I don't consume on TikTok a lot. If I say YouTube, I follow Greg Eisenberg and I
Okay.
like his AI content. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, let me look up Greg Eisenberg's YouTube channel here. Here we go. I got the link. So we would come here, we would come and say YouTube here. Oops, that was his LinkedIn channel. I'm looking for his YouTube channel. Let's see. There we go. So we would come in here. I'm gonna just, you can save it as a source. That's also cool. Like if you plan on using this person later for inspiration, and just add this here. Oh, actually, this has to be the video. So let me put in the video here. So this is the source for the video. So this is really, so this option is really good for if you're like trying, say for instance, you found a video that's really cool of Greg's and you wanted to repurpose it yourself. And so like
Okay.
here's, I'm gonna pull over my screen here. And so like this is a video here that he just did. I built 50 apps using AI without coding in 2026. We were just talking about app building. So I'm here. And then we go back into Blotato, we put in a URL. Now it's using that as a source here. And I'm gonna close all these here. So now we got Greg here listed as sources. So anyone that you check here, and when you go to add post, that's what it's going to use as its source to kind of create that post. So if I wanted to have it use multiple, these are different sources that I added recently. So that's why you see that listed. But the one we're looking at now is Greg. So say for instance, if I wanted to create maybe like a LinkedIn post, maybe I wanted to create a thread, and also maybe I wanted to create a blog article based on that viral video that Greg had, I can come here and generate post. And in just a matter of seconds here, we're going to see that the LinkedIn post is starting here. It says it's generating. And
So at this point, is it remixing it right now at
it's
this
remixing
point?
it right now. Yep. So basically, this is the LinkedIn one here that it remixed. And then each one of these conversations pretty much has its own little chat GPT window so you can talk into it. So
Okay.
we got the thread one, we got a blog article, all based on that particular video. And then the cool thing about it is the other thing on the left side is she has this thing called prompts that's built in. Like if I click here, I can go to it as well. You can kind of create different prompts for like basically how you want your voice to be customized, or maybe you want a prompt for a particular style of content that you want to reuse. So she kind of highlights all these different prompts built in. And you can come in here, you can add your own prompts, which is really cool. So maybe there's a style of post that you just like to make. Maybe it could be a post about a childhood story. That could be like a type of post. And so you can kind of create these different prompts in here. And what's cool about it is, like I said, you can now come back to where we were doing that post creation. And maybe you like this LinkedIn post, but maybe you want to use it instead of the way it gave you. Maybe you wanted to come at it from a three limiting beliefs type of standpoint versus what it gave you. You can come in here and click on this, say generate, and then what it's going to do now is going to take that post, it's going to rewrite it from a three limiting belief standpoint instead. And so you can, like I said, use the ones that she already has built in, or you can create your own prompts, which I think is going to be ultimately what you're going to want to do, because that's just going to um, make these pieces of content that you generate sound more like you. So, like if you were to
Right.
come into one of these prompts here and say, for instance, if I was to click on it, I can come down here and edit it. But just say if I came into these prompts and at the bottom I put in some information about myself, so like additional information about me personally, how I
Right.
like to speak, no M dashes, include stories about my cat whenever you can. So now that way, when this tool is using these pre-built prompts, it's actually rewriting it based on myself, my story. So I'm having to do less work, and it's actually sounding more like me versus sounding like AI completely wrote it or whatever. But now it basically rewrote that actual thing here from a three limited belief standpoint. So instead of how Greg's article was, like, let's see exactly what it said.
It was something about he built
It was
50
how I
apps.
built 50 apps using AI
Mhm.
without coding. It
Yep.
rewrote that article from three limiting beliefs preventing you from being a new age programmer. So now it completely rewrote it from a whole different standpoint. And
Right,
maybe
right.
hey, maybe you don't like that. You can say, I want to regenerate it, or instead of being three limited beliefs, maybe I want it to be a listicle instead, or three surprising misconceptions. So that's what I really like about this tool is
That's
that,
dope.
first it makes it super easy to plug in viral pieces of content that you find and then remix them for all of the different social media networks. But then you can schedule them. You can come in here if I have my LinkedIn page scheduled. And like in this case, it says the maximum amount of characters is 3,000. So I would probably have to turn this down a little bit. But let's just say if I just took out a little bit and then said schedule, I already have my LinkedIn page connected. So I could easily publish it right now, or I can schedule it whenever I want to. So that also makes it cool. So you can just schedule it right there and then right there. And then the
Yeah.
other last thing I wanted to mention is it has the API feature, so you can also use Blotato in tools like N8N. And why would you want to do that? Well, it just gives you more flexibility. So now you can build all of these different types of robust agents that do different things. And now you can have it to where Blotato is basically plugged in, and then you can have it send the data to whatever social media network that you want it to. So you can use Threads, you can use Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case may be. So right now, this is like an Instagram Threads agent, but maybe I want it to just be multiple agents. I can just say, hey, I'm going to clone this one. And instead of this one being posted threads, this one can be, maybe I'm going to be posting to my Instagram page, or maybe I'm going to be posting to my Pinterest page. And from there, you would just kind of like link it here, and then you would link it kind of like to that one. And then now you can see where instead of just linking to one place, it's linking to multiple places. And that's why we use this API feature. It just gives you a little bit more flexibility on what you can do. And that's going to be more of an advanced topic, but I wanted to at least bring it up for people who are watching this video. It's like, well, why would I want to use the API? Well, you'll be able to use it in tools like N8N to really expand what you can do or whatnot. So all that being
Yeah.
said, Don, what you think about the tool?
Bro, I think that's fire, man. I think that just takes a lot of the hard work and the guesswork out of everything. Because again, on the topic of content, a lot of people struggle because it's like, damn, like what do I record? What do I say? They keep talking about hooks. What is a hook? So I think this just takes all the guesswork out of everything. Now, question for you, right? So when it comes to video content, if you run it through the same thing that you showed us, is it like scripts that it produces, that it outputs, and then that just you just take the script or with all the hooks and stuff like that, and you just go and record the video? Is
That's
that how
correct.
that works?
Yep, that is
Okay.
correct. Yep. Or once again, this is where you could have it to where it can generate scripts for you, but you could
Hmm.
plug it in on the back end to something like a HeyGen with your AI
Yeah.
avatar, and now you're taking those viral scripts and then you're plugging it into like HeyGen, and then it's going to use your avatar, create the viral video. So that's where you can get super complex with it, and that's why the
Yeah.
API can open up those doors to where you're not just getting the script, but also not the viral script, but now you can plug it into these other workflows and make it super automated.
Okay, I got you. One last thing, because we gotta, it's gonna be people out there that are like, I don't get it, I don't understand. So like, let's like, how can we give them like a step by step, like, listen, this is what you're gonna do to like really eliminate any of the guesswork. So how would you do this for somebody that's like, I'm struggling with content, I'm not tech savvy, and AI this and AI that. How can they use Blotato to literally start shooting some content tomorrow and start getting some new followers, new leads, new appointments, whatever it is that they're trying to do?
Man, great question. Great question. Well, the first thing is sign up. You get a free 14-day trial and the link. So that's going to make it super easy because you ain't even got to break bread to get started with this. You literally
Yeah.
just sign up and get the free trial. And then once you do, the very first thing you want to get situated with is just connecting your social media accounts. Now, when you log in, it's going to ask you for them, but you on the left on here We're here on the sidebar. You're gonna have the ability to come in here and click all the social media accounts that you want to use, and you don't have to use all of them. Like right now, I only have my LinkedIn account connected, but just getting them linked that gives you the ability for it to post on your social medias for you. And then once you have your social media accounts linked, then all you need to do is just kind of find some ideas that you want to use to create some content from. And there's two ways you can do that. The first is just think about all the creators that you already like, the people that you follow, the people that you look up to. You can go down, write them a list, put a list together, and then go through some of the videos that you like. Because what you can do is when you come in here and you go to, like I showed you earlier, to like sources, or should I say create posts, it's going to ask you to add a source. And that's, say for instance, if you're somebody on YouTube that you're trying to, replicate one of their popular videos, you would just come in here and put it as a source. So that makes it super simple. But let's just say if you're starting, you don't even know who you want to follow. You just know that you want to be in a particular industry or something like that. That's where you can just come here to the inspiration post, because you can come in here and then you can look at certain particular things based on who created it, how many likes it gets. And then once again, you can just easily click on the remix button. And then once you do that, it just takes you to this page where now you have signed up, you've added all your accounts, and then you decided on what type of piece of content you want to remix. All you do now is just take those assets that it gave you and then you post them on the sites. Now, some of these are going to be videos, like a YouTube. Like if I was to come here and say YouTube, that's going to give me a YouTube script. So what I'll be able to do is just take that YouTube script and then go and record it. But for something like a LinkedIn, it's just going to give you the post. So you can just manually post it yourself. But if you did, like I mentioned earlier, you connected your account, you can just come here and click schedule, and you can schedule it right now, or you can just, schedule it for later next week, whenever you want to. So it's a super easy workflow once you kind of get started. And just to kind of recap everything once again, sign up, add your accounts, find a piece of post that you want to remix. And if you don't, use the inspiration tab. And then from there, you're just going to post it. Or if it's a video, you're going to record it. And another cool thing that I didn't even get into in this video, and that'll maybe be for a whole nother part, is that this tool also has the ability for you to create AI generated images and AI generated videos too. So on the left side, you can come in here and create just different types of AI generated images. So like if you're trying to create like a reel, and it has all these cool little themes. So like I said, this is a whole part of the tool we didn't even get to. But just say if you want to come in here and I wanted to create a video of this one here, I'm saying you wake up as a pharaoh. And I'm just gonna say choose my theme. I'm just gonna choose this one here. That's gonna say cinematic, and then we'll say we'll generate draft video, and it will let us do its thing here. And so now, once again, it even has these AI tools built in that you can use to where, once again, you can create your own content, or you can generate these videos and then match it with the script that you created as well too. So, so I'm gonna just give it a couple of seconds so we can see how this looks. Waking up in a luxurious wearable bed. So it even has like a whole video editor in here. So I'm gonna click on play. Let's see what we got. Okay, so it gave us that. And then even one thing I do love about her software is she has a great amount of help files too. So like even over here, if I'm clicking here, it's like how to make my viral AI videos. She even has like a whole help articles on how you can actually use this system, how you can come in here, make changes or whatnot. Like I said, even at a very high level, it just a lot of the things about this tool is the whole goal is of it just to make it super simple for you to create content and then also for you to distribute it. And I think that's the important part. Creating is one thing, but then distributing it is the whole other thing. Is you actually have to post the stuff. And so this helps you get out of your own head and get the posting faster than later.
Yeah, man. So listen, no more excuses, people. We got all the tools, we got all the resources, and shout out to Sabrina for creating such a dope app. Like this is fire. And I know this is probably only 10% of everything that it does, but I mean everything that you just showed, bro, like literally takes the guesswork out of everything. And now there's just no excuses. You know what I mean? You don't even have to think about what I'm going to create. You just have this created, and then you just go ahead and record. And to piggyback off of that, if you follow Sabrina, her content isn't overly complicated. Most of the time, it looks like she just records it on her iPhone and then she just posts it and goes about her day. So, like, don't overthink the content. You have a tool like this that Queese just went over, and then you guys can, hit the ground running and just go crazy and run it up.
Yep. But with that said, we make videos like this every week where we want to bring you the hottest tools and also the latest industry news about everything that's going on in AI. So make sure you join the prompt. The link's in the bio, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.